problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I say you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't call us dangerous. Ain't too many can play with us. See what this game here taking us. No barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much. Actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard from your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my whole team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like what? Whole squad like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. You don't want problems. You don't want.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Los Angeles Rams. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports.
The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up they octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on a mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top, it's missing, the opposition, and all that lane switching, this is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Los Angeles Rams. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
What? Green 80!
We gotta get the ball. Can you get the ball right here? Let's go.
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
On second down now, it's Carson, and he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. They'll get this to Jennings over the middle. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 yards for number 11.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
It's 3rd and 10.
You ain't got nothing.
This time Wilson will throw. Flushed out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Samson Abukum with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. 4th down, and out is the all-pro punter from a year ago, Michael Dixon, to punt for Seattle. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt.
The Rams take over 1st and 10.
Come on now, let's go. Tonight, 180. 54 Mike. Rip right.
On first down, gone. Working the middle here, that's complete to Everett, the tight end. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys that have a little extra pep in their step, you go to them early and often.
Goff on 3rd down. They got a man. It's Woods. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. Goff to Woods as the Rams move the chains.
Well, we use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the first down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. Gurley's got the first down and then some. And he's going to get this to the 40-yard line. 11 yards there, first down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about.
Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. Touchdown, L.A. Todd Gurley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Rams are going to take a first quarter lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Green 80. Silver.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Flush to his right. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
I like the play call. Roll him out. Give him a chance to run it or throw it. In this situation, he decided to fling it, but couldn't find his man open.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Throwing again. Wilson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage is excellent downfield.
Here's Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. 4th down. Here's Wilson. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On 2nd and 9, Goff. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Now it's Goff. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They are going for it. Goff. Looking this time for Woods, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Trying to get it to Woods.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. And that's going to bring up a second and about a mile here. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Sliding out of the pocket. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Weddle. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 22. After the interception, here's Goff. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Bradley McDougald that time able to knock it away.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Ric Flair. 55. Right there in the middle. 55. Here we go. Hey, Alpha. Here we go.
On first down, it's gone. He's going to air one out. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, L.A. Robert Woods, his first touchdown on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Play action. Now Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls, and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. The Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Wilson. He's got Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's Clay Matthews with a pick.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
And he's got this down to the 35. 11 yards there, first down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage. And we're still in the second quarter.
Gurley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
76.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
They'll try the air now with Goff. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. Well, if you're going to give him that kind of time, he's just going to shred you.
You might as well put a sofa out there for him. I mean, that's unbelievable because I don't care who you are in coverage. With that amount of time, someone's going to shake free, and he's going to be able to throw the ball with a whole lot of confidence. Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
That's complete, right around the 8. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That catch good for 5. It's third down. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Here's first and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime.
55.
Gone. And it's caught for a Rams touchdown by Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead. Zerline connects on the extra point. And that makes the score 21-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. Play action. It's Wilson. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great, let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. And here's Wilson. Going to throw again. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. Wilson. This is caught. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. Escaping the pressure. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Gary Jennings with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point up and through by Myers. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The third quarter starts with a run by Gurley. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. In on the stop, Bradley McDougald.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now Gurley. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the 41, Goff. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there and a first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
A big run there by Gurley. 43 yards on the ground. So down inside the 5-yard line. I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all.
And he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. Todd Gurley with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead. Zerline good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. He's going deep for Brown. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Aqib Talib.
When we talk about Aqib Talib, technique is not the word that comes to mind, but don't worry about that. This guy anticipates as well as anyone in the league, and he did just that, picking off another pass.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Goff. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
1st down, Rams.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Yet another carry here tonight for Gurley. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
11 yards there, 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. Here's Gurley. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Hey, lift!
On 2nd and 9, Goff. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Robert Woods with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Rams add on to their lead. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Wilson. Left side complete to Lockett. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
It's a gain of 16 yards. First and 10.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. This one into the hands of Metcalf. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. So this is what happens when you throw interceptions, that confident veneer that you have. Gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. He may try and run for this. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Third and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
This time, Wilson will throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the former Husky, Marcus Peters. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Here comes a 20th carry for Gurley. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here we go. Check. Ric Flair. Check. Louis.
To throw is gone. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. Has a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the former Husky, Marcus Peters. And a very good return as he takes us all the way up to the 35-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. On 2nd and 9, Goff. And Cooks has it over the middle. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 33 yards that time. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Goff now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up.
And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Rams have got it on cruise control. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done. In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Michael Brocker's in on the stop.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. They run again with Carson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 12 yards there and a first down. Defensively, with this lead in the fourth quarter, I guess you can allow a run of that magnitude.
You're right about that, but really the focus has got to be don't fall in love with the idea that you're getting big runs now. You're right. They're actually being allowed. They've got to think really hard about getting some chunk plays through the air, too.
A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Give them 14 on that one and a first down. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Penny, a first down carry. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Flushed out right. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
At their own 25-yard line.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Gurley. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
At the 46-yard line.
On the toss, it's Gurley. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. The Rams on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Gone. It's caught left side by Cooks. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On first down, it's Gurley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Los Angeles, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.